Chinese domestic politics. So it's always standing in China, within China, understand how political and economic dynamics are like within China. But I think in the last couple of years, things have clearly changed. There have been some structural changes that suggest to us that China in many ways has actually risen, and it has risen in such a way that it might actually disrupt global power dynamics between United States and China, as well as the relations between China and a lot of developing countries. So this course is meant to equip you with the knowledge to understand these dynamics. So standing outside China, understand what the rise of China, the implications for the rest of the world. In the course outline that I have submitted to the Summer Abroad program, these are the topics that might be covered in the course. We will first start with looking within China, inside China, to understand economic reform under Deng Xiaoping's initiation and during his rule. And we will look at state-owned enterprises and private sector reform, what implications that will have on economic trajectory. We'll look at fiscal decentralization and reform, which was one of the very first economic reforms being introduced in the 80s. Then we move on to internal migration, movement of people inside China, within China, how that has been restricted until today. What is the implications for state-society relationship, elite politics, Tiananmen incident, and a reform era. So people have quipped, like mid-2010s as the end of an era, the end of the reform era. And after that, China has moved into an era which sees, increased politicized, centralized control, ending its liberal economic reform that it was known for the last 30, 40 years. And we also looked at, the politics of land and urbanization. We will look at high-tech ambitions and 5G technology and the implications of that for global competition. And of course, that has implications for Canada-China relations as well, because of the size of Huawei and the choice between Huawei and other Western firms in its offer of 5G network. Social protests, state responses to social protests, repression, and what that means for stability, maintenance. We look at Xinjiang and the plight of the Muslim Uyghurs. We also look at Hong Kong protests, Taiwan Sunflower Movement, also China's global ambitions, the much heard of term Belt and Road Initiative, what it really means, what it entails, and what it doesn't entail, what are the common misunderstanding of Belt and Road initiatives, U.S.-China relations, and its implications for Canada-China relations. So these are the topics that we will cover in the course. Now, so let me tell you something about course assessment, since most of you would be interested in that. Usually it's a combination of class participation. So I'll be taking, because the class size is small enough, between 18 to about 25 students, I'll be taking names to make sure that students attend classes regularly and to have done readings regularly. Not only attendance, but your participations in class, whether you're actively asking informed questions. Also, a presentation. Students will be grouped into teams to give a presentation related to these topics. There will probably be a major essay, 1 or 2 essays, as well as a test at the end of the course. And of course, we have to be flexible because this is the first time that this summer abroad course is taught at the virtual format. So I will amend and adjust it and make it flexible if it's necessary to suit the circumstances. So that is probably all that I will have to cover for now. I don't know whether Karen or anyone else has things that you want me to talk about.
Yes, thanks so much, Lynette, Professor Ong. We do have a few questions from students, and I could help you answer some of these questions as well, but since we have you here. Number one, there's a student who's a business student. Can he or she apply for this course? So I know there are prerequisites for this course, and just like any of our other summer abroad courses. If you really feel passionate about this course, if you really want to take this course, you're not specifically a political science student or a contemporary Asian studies student, you could still apply for this course. There is a room on the online application that will ask you how you're going to prepare for this course, what other relevant preparation that you may have to take this course, and we will take that into consideration. So yes, if you're a business student but do have a strong interest in this subject matter, we do encourage you to take the course. So the next question, Professor Ong, is it an advantage to be a student from China to take this course?
No. So I teach my regular Chinese politics course. I would say 30% of the students are originally from China. I have a lot of Canadians. Some of them are of Chinese descent, Asian descent. Would it be an advantage? You might know some things about China a little bit better than the rest of the students, but I would not say that it will give you a huge advantage. Maybe a small advantage. But then again, if you grew up in China, you may be used to, or you may have been taught certain perspectives about Chinese politics, which might or might not be true because of the nature of education over there.
Great, thanks very much. We have a question here about, I know you're talking about evaluation, but we also have a question about the which percentage is counted for participation.
I think it's too early at this stage to answer that question because I know arts and science have specific rules about how much we can allocate to participation in other things. I would have to think about that and look at the rules before I could answer that question.
Okay, we have one question asking in which time zone the course will be held.
Well, up until this point, I can tell that it will most likely be held in Toronto time. But who knows? But most likely in US, in North America, Eastern Standard Time.
And we have one more question here. When will the course syllabus be available?
The course syllabus will be available just before the course starts. I'm rejigging the syllabus this year to take into account very recent developments. So give you some examples. This course offered several years ago would not feel the need to cover anything about Hong Kong or Xinjiang or Belt and Road initiatives. So I have to change the syllabus almost every 2 years to take into account very recent political development, and I'm in the midst of doing so.
So there was one question asking, we are offering another course based in China this summer. Can I take both virtual courses this summer? So we are offering another course in sociology and they do not overlap. So if you do apply for both courses and are admitted, you can take both courses if you choose to do so.
Sure. And aside from the administrative aspect of the question, I would also add that I know the colleagues who are teaching at Tianjin and so they are my colleagues who are in sociology department. So they obviously look at China through a different set of lens. So the perspective offered will actually be quite different. So for the course content that has to do with, on the list here, which you are looking at, that has to do with things outside China, Hong Kong, China's global ambitions, I'll be engaging speakers largely from outside China. So I think that will provide you with some unique perspectives.
Fantastic. And we have one more interesting question. The student is asking, sure. I realize the political department are warning students who take some courses overseas due to potential local law issues. Do you recommend students to still take this course from outside Canada?
Yes, in my regular Chinese politics course, I tell the students that because of recent international political environment, and as well as the online platform, which exacerbates the risk slightly, this course, because of this course content, will give rise to a degree of risk. But to put things in perspective, it's not unlike, you go on to rent a bike, go on a ski trip, and you're often asked to sign a disclaimer. A disclaimer is meant to raise your awareness of the degree and nature of risk involved. But I see the risk no larger than the risk when you go rent a bike and then ride it on the street. And I think everything that we do involves a certain degree of risk. And I see my responsibility as an instructor is to raise the awareness of this risk among students and the nature of the risk. But I would also qualify to say that the risk is actually very, very small. So in my usual Chinese politics course, I have a class of about 50 students, right? And about 10% of them are actually dialing in from China. So about five students dialing in from China. And in the next few weeks, because of the COVID situation in Toronto, a couple of my students are planning on returning to China. So I may get as much as 20% to 25% dialing in from China, from Singapore, from India, and from elsewhere, whichever they are from. And this has not posed any problem. And of course, this also shows certain degree of commitment and diligence on the part of the students because of time difference, and my course is held synchronously, and I tend to give more participation grade to students who stay up until 2 a.m. in the morning to listen to the lectures, to come to office hours. So those efforts are definitely will be awarded.
Fantastic, thank you so much. And we have one more question here that asks, the course website shows that students who are admitted to Summer Abroad 2020 last year will have priority in application this year. Is this for all applicants who applied last year or only applicants who applied to this program last year? So basically, our programs were canceled outright last year because of the COVID pandemic. We are giving special consideration to students who were admitted and want to apply again to our courses this year. It's not just geared for anybody who was admitted or applied last year. Anybody who's eligible can apply for our courses. So it's not just geared for anybody who were admitted or applied last year. It is really open to all eligible students and alumni. We have one other question here, Professor Ong. Could you talk more about the group presentations?
Sure. So usually this is how it works. Let's say, I will get students to cover for instance, Belt and Road initiatives. If you are in a team that's supposed to present on the Belt and Road initiatives, before the lectures, the proper lectures on Belt and Road initiatives, I will also ask the team to present an alternative perspectives on Belt and Road initiatives. So you have the academic literature that talks about concepts, theory about Belt and Road and the implications for China's relations with other developing countries. But I'll also get students to talk about the other, let's say, the cultural aspects of Belt and Road initiative. You have movements of Chinese people to other developing countries such as Southeast Asia, Africa, and Central Asia, and what are the implications for society relations for those host countries. So this serves several purposes. It gives students an opportunity to understand another aspect which is not covered in the course, and by learning about other aspects, and you have to learn that you have to know that well enough to present it, and I think it also provides the students with some sort of unique learning experience.
Fantastic. Are there any other questions since we have Professor Ong still with us? Well, those were really good questions. Thank you so much for participating. If you have further questions for us, you could always email us or ask at the end of the session, and we could always relay it to Professor Ong if it's course related. So thank you so much, Professor Ong, for giving us a bit more information about your course. It does sound like a really exciting course, and hopefully a lot of students will take advantage of it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so hope to see some of you or all of you in the course, and thank you, Karen and Wendy.
Thank you so much.
Okay, see you around. Bye-bye.
Right before I get to applications, I just want to touch very briefly about the advantages of taking a virtual course such as Professor Ong's. There are professional developments, so you get to build a global network. You have a network built from the comfort of your own home if you do decide to take this course this year. You gain global awareness and skills, so you can add something like this to your resume. Employers are always looking for skills like cross-cultural communication, flexibility, interests in global perspectives, etc. It sounds like it'll be really interesting to take this course, and it will definitely benefit you for your global awareness skills. You get to also explore possibilities of graduate school as well. So if, since it's a small class experience, you get to know Professor Ong a little more during the 3 weeks, you could ask her for some opinions in terms of looking into the research a bit more for your postgraduate studies. and personal development. So students who take our courses seem to gain more confidence before, especially this year, before committing to a big international trip and expanding your international education. This is a great introduction and sort of immerse program for you to really know the subject matter and the destination. You become more adaptable of overcoming problems, and you gain presentation and communication skills and room for debate and discussion. This is a very interesting program in terms of the size of the program. So of the students who participate in this program. So say it's about 25 students, you'll get to see them during the 3 weeks. You'll get to participate in really different and active discussions and debate. So a lot of our professors usually say at the end of our programs, our students become less shy and more vocal in terms of course material, and this is your opportunity to take advantage of that. And lastly, you get to build a global gateway to future travel. So you learn how to communicate with people from different cultures and backgrounds, you gain a cultural context, and it'll prepare you for your next international experience, hopefully when it's safe to do so. So as I mentioned, this is a very immersive program. You'll be gaining a full year credit in 3 weeks. And usually it's about 3 to 4 hours of lecture or instruction from Monday to Thursday. So it goes very fast. You will have tests and assignments that actually come up pretty fast. And because of that, we ask you to only focus on this course because of its condensed schedule. You are, again, taking this course from any location of choice. Please keep in mind that attendance to the virtual lectures or anything related, such as field trips, guest lectures outside of the lecture hours, virtual activities, they are all mandatory. So it's a small class. Professor Ong will know who's missing. So we do say that you have to show up for every single lecture. You cannot take another summer abroad virtual course at the same time as a regular U of T online course. So if you are intended to take another summer course at U of T, a virtual course, you're more than welcome to do so, but we want to make sure that it does not overlap with the 3 weeks that you are taking this course in May. As in any other virtual course, you have to have a computer with a working webcam and microphone and have access to reliable internet. So in terms of eligibility, our courses are open to all U of T students and alumni. So all 3 campuses, all departments, you are more than welcome to apply. You must be in good academic standing and completed a term of study by the time of application. So if you're a first-year student, you could still apply for this course. But if you're beyond a first-year student, we will be looking at your CGPA during the last 12 months of study. Your CGPA must be at a minimum of 1.75. So in other words, you must be in good academic standing, not on probation, and that base of what we look at when we start reviewing applications. If you have any friends who are interested in taking this course who are based from a North American university, visiting students are more than welcome to apply for our courses as well. This will be a transfer credit, and the students will have to apply with a letter of permission from their home university. So the priority, of course, is for U of T students, but every year we still have visiting students that participate in our courses, so they are more than welcome to apply as well. So our online applications are open now on our website at summerabroad.utoronto.ca. So it's open, and the application deadline is on March 1st of this year, and it will close at 5:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we base our applications, participants are selected based on a set of criteria. So in other words, it's not on a first come, first serve basis. Everybody who applies and pays for the application fee by March 1st will be treated equally. So there's no advantage of rushing your application. You could save your personal statement in your application and go back to it. Just as long as you submit it by March 1st, all should be set. So when we review our applications, we look at your academic suitability. Take a look at your CGPA from the last 12 months of study. And you don't have to submit that. We have access to the transcripts via U of T. And again, as I mentioned, if you don't have the necessary prerequisites that are listed for this course, but you still feel very passionate about this course and you do want to take it, we do leave you room to explain more of why you want to take the course, what kind of relevant preparation you've had to take a course such as this one. We also take a look at a personal statement, and this statement is at a maximum of 500 words, and it's in response to some questions. And it's not, it's really a personal question of why you want to take this course and how it will fit into your academic experience at U of T. So we take a look at your academic suitability and your personal statement almost on an equal basis. We do base our decisions on that. The last step to application is to pay a $200 application fee, and that's also done online. You are refunded this fee if you're not selected or admitted to this course, and there's a separate application and fee for each of our summer abroad programs. So you could apply for up to 2 summer abroad virtual programs. If you're interested in applying for the other program based in China, the sociology course, you'll just have to pay a separate application fee for that as well. Please take a look at the application, save your personal statement, go back to it, just make sure that you submit your application by March 1st. So if you do look in our online application, this is basically what it looks like. You choose your application program of choice, and there's only one course that is offered. And there is a space that lets you explain more of your relevant courses and experience. You could save your responses and go back to it. Basically, once you've completed the online application, you feel good about it, you want to pay for your $200 application fee and press submit. Your status should change from pending to submitted to incomplete to pending. And once it says pending, then you're set and your application has been submitted for our review. If you're offered a spot for this course, you will know probably from mid to late March. So our notifications are going to be sent around then. It's going to be a bit earlier for this course, hopefully just because this course will be starting in May. Different programs will be notified at different times. Don't be concerned if you heard from one program and not the other. We will try as much as we can to send out notifications around the same time. If you're accepted, you have 1 week to confirm your participation by paying a non-refundable $500 deposit. And if you decline an offer, you will not get your application fee back. So basically, this deposit is confirming to us that you are a part of this class, you're going to be participating in this class, and you have 1 week to decide on that and to confirm that decision with us. Remaining fees are due roughly 4 weeks after the deposit is due. And of course, that varies depending on the program. Quick thing about financing your summer abroad. Overall costs vary by program, but you should start budgeting now. The final payments will be due in April and May, and the dates vary depending on the program. It's really unfortunate, but we will not be offering any bursaries awards for virtual programs and courses this year. If you're getting OSAP, you may be eligible to apply for an extension. We do advise that you check with your registrar's office for other possible travel awards and bursaries and OSAP if you are eligible. So this is all on our website. This is the costs for participating in this course. So as I talked about the application fee, that's $200. And then there is a course fee. And basically this is the tuition, the cost of running the course. And this includes virtual field trips if there are any offered. So for domestic students, that is approximate total of $1,600. And for international students, that's a total of $2,755, which includes the $500 deposit. This is a U of T course, and just like any other U of T course, virtual or on-site, there are U of T incidental fees that must be paid. The estimated fee for this course will be $161 for domestic and international students. So the approximate total for domestic students is just under $2,000, and for international students, it's just over $3,000. Again, all this information is on our website. And just a recap of the next steps, if you go to number 2, you're already you participating in the information sessions. We have other information sessions this week as well as the next 2 weeks in February. So we do encourage you to listen to other professors speak about courses. If you've missed any of them, we hope to post all of our videos on our website in the next couple of days after the presentations. March 1st is when applications close. Late March to early April is admission notification. 1 week after admission notification, a $500 deposit is due. The remaining fees are around April and May. And of course, for this course, the course will start in May. The specific dates for this course will be posted on our website in the next few weeks. So if you want to know more information, we encourage you to visit our website, summerabroad.utoronto.ca. There's updates there, lots of information, there's student stories. We also, as I mentioned, encourage you to attend other virtual program information sessions this month and next month. Those of you who are on Instagram, please follow us at U of T Abroad. There's lots of updates that you could find through there as well. You have the opportunity to book an appointment with a Summer Abroad advisor. So if you want to sit down and speak one-on-one with an advisor, we highly encourage you to do this. Of course, this is all done virtually, and you could set up an appointment online through our website. You could create a Summer Abroad account. So you could create an application and at least input your basic information as well as start an application if you choose to do so. That is done through our online portal. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at summer.abroad@utoronto.ca. We still have our general line open at 416-978-8713. So that's basically it for the formality of this webinar. I'm going to just look at it if there's any other questions that we should look at. So we do have one question. Do we have any previous syllabus that we can look at? That's a great question. Professor Ong did teach an on-site course. The course is a bit different, and I believe the course code is a bit different as well. So basically, we don't necessarily have old course outline that we could send to you. If we did, we will. Hopefully in the next few weeks, Professor Ong will have a draft outline that will be available, so you could check our website for that. We could also let anyone who has registered for this information session, we could also forward that to all attendees as well. We have another question. What is the difference between a virtual summer abroad course and a regular online course? So that's a great question. Virtual summer abroad courses, as I mentioned, is a small class. It does have other different features that are still online, but there's guest speakers. There could be virtual field trips that are related to the destination as well. It's more immersed in terms of the timing. You'll be getting full year credit within 3 weeks. So it's just a totally immersive experience where you get to know more about China, more about the issues that Professor Ong will be focusing on. So in terms of that, that kind of experience would be different than a regular online course. Is it possible to take 2 summer abroad courses at different periods of the summer? Yes, it is. So I believe you're only allowed to take 2 full year courses during the summer. If the 2 summer abroad courses do not overlap, you are more than welcome to apply and attend and participate in these courses. So say for instance, you are admitted to this course and you want to take another course in Italy, which is offered in August. This course is in May, Italy's in August, they don't overlap. So you're more than welcome to take 2 virtual courses during the summer. Just make sure you take a look at the dates once they are available and make sure that any of the programs that you apply to do not overlap. As I mentioned, you have the maximum of 2 courses to apply to. You have the maximum of 2 courses to apply to for each summer. How do we conduct the virtual field trips? That's also a really good question. We're still trying to confirm all of the added features to this course, but usually it does differ depending on programs. So we're not really sure if there will be virtual field trips for this course per se, but for other programs, there may be a guided virtual tours that are done on site through different venues such as galleries and museums. So again, depending on the program, the idea of a virtual field trip will be different and will be explained in more detail on our website once they are confirmed. If I don't have the listed prerequisite for the course, can I still apply? Yes, you can. So as I mentioned before, I believe there's a prerequisite of 2 political science courses to apply for this course. So yes, if you do have the prerequisites, that's great. But if you don't and you still have an interest to take this course, we do have space on our application that will ask you to describe in more detail if there's any other relevant or related courses that you've taken, not necessarily in political science, but maybe in international relations or the humanities, or if you have a strong interest in the subject matter. We do take that into consideration as well. So the short answer is no, you don't need to have the listed prerequisites for the course, and you could still apply for the course. We have another question. Can I apply for a course in China if I am already in China? Yes, you are. That's no problem. As I mentioned, regardless of your location, now and in the summer, you could still apply for a summer abroad course. When will the date for this program be confirmed? Great question. I will be working with Professor Ong. Hopefully it will be posted in the next week or so. I do anticipate it to be in May, most likely the first 3 weeks of May, but we haven't confirmed that yet. And once the dates are confirmed, we will definitely update our website. Am I able to take other U of T online courses while I participate in summer abroad? No, you cannot. So as I mentioned, you cannot overlap another course while you're taking a summer abroad course. So because of the immersive experience and workload of this course, you'll be gaining a full year credit in 3 weeks. You cannot take another U of T virtual course during that same time. So basically in May, we highly advise you not to take another course during that same time. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for attending this information session. These were really good questions, and this course does seem to be very interesting to take. Once we start to confirm further information, we will post it on our website. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to book an appointment with a summer abroad advisor, email us, or follow us on Instagram for any other updates that we may have. Thank you so much, and hopefully a few of you or all of you will be able to attend this course this May. Thanks very much.